Dooby-dooby-doo. Oh, Facebook Live reaction feed. Why does it keep telling us that?
Don't know.
You just told me it 3 times. Very weird.
We're live.
We are live. Every time we go live, we get this thing that says the Facebook reaction feed, something blah, 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 blah. I don't know. Has to do with little buttons, I guess. Little happy faces and such.
Little happy faces.
Yes, little happy faces. All right. Well, this week we're going to be talking. Boy, I'm actually too loud this week. I'm going to cut my voice down a bit.
All right.
I was messing with the mixing board the other day, so now I'm too loud. Now I should be loud. Okay. Whew. So, today we're going to be talking about Facebook marketing. It's good stuff.
We're going to face up to Facebook.
Going to face up to Facebook. So, for those of you joining live, get ready for some fun. And here we go. Let's get the show on the road.
Rumble.
In 5, 4, 3. On today's episode of Video Marketing Madness, we're going to talk about the power of Facebook for local marketing. And today's episode is made possible by our good friends at Adobe. Adobe, the creators of Photoshop and After Effects and Illustrator and Premiere and a whole bunch of other softwares that most people probably have no idea even exist, but they're pretty darn cool, including some very cool animation tools that people don't even realize are in there. And you can get them all as part of the Adobe Creative Suite, where you pay a monthly fee and you get all of these softwares in one package, and you can use them all as much as you want. You just have to pay that monthly fee. But, little secret, if you have a student or you are a teacher or you are a student in your home, you can actually get it for a much more reduced rate each month. So you won't have to pay full price. You can pay pretty darn low price for some of the best softwares in the world. So all you have to do is go in there and say that you are, you have a student in the home or that you're a teacher, put in the institution, and then you get a lower price, a lower monthly price. I wish I had done that because I do have students in the home, but I pay the full price.
I got a teacher in the home.
Well, there you go. And
We're
so
moving
you can get
there
it
tomorrow.
at a much lower price and do some great things with the Adobe Creative Suite. And we all know it. We love it. We use it every day. And with that, in fact, part of the Adobe Creative Suite is some audio tools. And if you don't know about those, well, they've got some audio tools in there. And some of those tools were used for the following theme song starting right now.
He's Ray the video guy, yeah, Ray the video guy. His skill is where it's at, even if he's a little fat. He's filled with video expertise and has so much knowledge that you need. His YouTube ninja tricks can make your marketing so sick. He's Ray the video guy, yeah, Ray the video guy.
And it's the radio
show about video.
That's a radio show about video marketing madness with Ray the video guy. And I'm Steve Sleeper. And go VMM, the homepage where you can get social with us and subscribe on your favorite podcatcher.
Getting social with it.
Getting social. Da 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 da.
So,
have you put up any more soft surfaces there in your studio? I can hear a little. Have you? Okay.
Oh yes, lots of them.
Okay.
But I hate this office.
Do you?
I hate it. It's like a prison cell.
You don't have any windows.
No windows. Very small.
No windows. You could put a picture of a window.
I can't figure out how to configure everything properly. Take a look at this. Oh my goodness. You can see my lights. You can see the sides of the wall. I can't figure it all out. But we'll get there. We'll get there someday.
Well, then you're busy getting all that escape room stuff done.
Only 22 hours a day. So.
Oh, well, that's not bad.
Yeah. Well, that's not bad. Only 22, so we're getting there, though.
How about green screen? You got that set up yet? No.
No green screen at the moment.
Well, you look fine for the way you look.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Appreciate that. But what I do have that's kind of fun is I actually have the ability to do some fun videos in actual locations, since we got all these what are essentially sets everywhere. So I could be in a camp cabin like I was the other day, or I can be in a military office. I could be in a psychopath killer's lair. I could be in a dirty, nasty hotel room. I could be all sorts of places. A bank. I did a video with a bank the other day. I went into the vault and pulled things out of the vault. So it was a lot of fun. So we can do some cool stuff. So we don't necessarily need the green screen right now. We are going to get a very nice green screen that's going to go out in the front area that will have a full green screen set up in there. That will be a very big one, but and a nice one too. It'll be kind of neat. It's very similar to the ones that you those maps that you had when you were in school and the teacher would pull down the map. Very
cool.
Very similar to that, but with a green screen, and it's a very nice one, very high end one. So that'll be cool once we get that.
What are you going to do about your office? Get you some prison bars instead of a door.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I just don't know. I think the problem is I tried to cram everything into this one little spot here, and it's just not. It's not as big as the other area. I don't think.
No.
I don't think it is.
But
So,
I mean, price is a lot better.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. I get. Well, I don't know. It's a lot more expensive, but.
Well, but I mean.
But the other business pays for it now, so.
Yeah. So.
We'll figure it out at some point in time.
Okay.
In fact, I might have to bring the desk closer, but then we get shadows. So I don't know. It's going to be tough. It's difficult to figure out. We'll figure something out.
Right now, it looks fine.
Well, that's because you're only seeing this little sliver. But of course, if I was to cut to here, that looks atrocious.
Oh, I kind of like it. Gives you behind the scenes look.
Yeah, I know, which is terrible.
Okay.
Yeah, it's good to have a behind the scenes look, but when that's the only look you have, that's not good.
No.
So that's not good. Not good at all.
We'll keep working on it.
We will keep working on it. We'll get there.
Okay.
I haven't had to shoot those kinds of videos super often of late, so it's not been a big deal. But yeah, and in fact, it's easy to kind of fix it all. And by the way, if you're listening to this and you're probably going, "What the heck are these guys talking about?" I'm showing different views from the camera angles for this new office, and this wide angle look here. When I'm actually shooting on this, I can actually crop that. But the problem is if I'm doing a side-by-side interview and I've got a cut between us, that's when we can't. I can fix this, but then when we go to the double view, I'm like in your face. So it makes it tough, but we'll figure it out at some point in time. We'll get it all down.
Well, you still have a nicer setup than me. It's my office. Look at that. There's Winston Churchill over there. Yeah. Hey, how do you like? Of course, if you're listening to the audio, you don't see this, but I've got my 1940s and 1950s mics behind me. You can't see them now, but if you do look at that. See, yeah.
Are those real ones too, or?
Yeah,
nice.
Those are real.
I've got a fake one up here.
Items. Do you?
Yeah. Yeah, it's right there. Yeah, looks like yours, but it's fake. I got it from Pier 1 or somewhere like that. Okay. Well, Hobby Lobby, I think it was.
Yeah, one's an RCA ribbon mic, and then the other is. I think it's a Shure mic. Nice. I always call it the Elvis mic because that Elvis mic. So
nice. All right. Well, today we're not going to talk more about Elvis. We're going to talk about something much more important and something right up my alley lately. We're going to talk about Facebook marketing for local businesses. Now, for those of you who've known me for a long time, I've always talked about Facebook marketing to an extent because when we take on clients, we do some Facebook stuff, but most of the stuff that I've always done with clients has dealt with YouTube and video. And so Facebook stuff we kind of did, and some of the stuff we actually farmed out to other people and whatnot. Well, now that we've got this local business, the escape room, we've got this great opportunity to use it as a giant case study. In fact, I've said a couple times that one of the, as much as I love escape rooms, one of the reasons I really wanted to buy this was to own a local business where I could do everything I wanted, test it all out, and really see what really does work and what doesn't. And we're finding out very quickly some of the things that do work very, very well, at least in this particular business. And one of them, obviously, everybody has to Google my business, but this location here was already number one. There's no competition for it, so of course it's already number one on Google My Business. So that part made it easy. And it also makes it easy to kind of exclude that a little bit from any increases that we have, because you can't go higher than number one. So we know that that's not necessarily going to improve, but what can improve is if we're starting to do Facebook, we're starting to do YouTube stuff, and we start to see these increases, we know that it had to come from those because we can't go higher than number one on Google. And so Facebook was one of the first things that we really tackled, because this is a very social business. They already do things like take pictures of people after a game, post it on Facebook. Well, we wanted to take that to a new level, and so what we've been doing is we've been posting other content to the Facebook page. We've been taking the pictures that are posted to Facebook through the game system that we have and going back and adding in captions and putting in hashtags and links to the website and all that, which we've seen has definitely been a big help. Now, some of the other things that we've done, and this is something that a lot of people might not think about, but, well, first of all, before we get to that, you want to go and invite your friends, obviously. Make sure you invite your friends to your page. You got a Facebook page, use that invite tool. And in fact, Facebook has made changes recently that makes it a whole lot easier to invite all of your friends to join your page. So now you can do it with just a couple clicks, invite everybody, and you're going to get a bunch of people that will like your page. That's going to be a big help. Now, you start posting good, decent content, and I'll be honest with you, I use Bright Social, and I brought in a bunch of content, and I'm not happy with the content that I brought in, only because I found some great content online that I wanted to share. And of course, for instance, I found things like little online brain teaser games and things like that. Well, the problem that we have is that when you're sharing that, you're sharing a link to that page, so you're relying on that page to have good information and images to use in your feed. And unfortunately, a lot of the ones that I picked, they do not. And some of them make no sense. Like some of them just use, if let's say you go to one site that has 200 brain teasers, well, every time it posts one of its brain teasers, it's posting that same image from their main page. And so we're not getting variety. And then we're getting sometimes the information it pulls in from that page is not complete. It's weak. So what I really need to do is, rather than just using a direct feed, is I need to go in, just spend a day or get somebody to spend a day and go and find all of these good things, make a list of the ones that are good, the ones that look good, the ones that have images, go in and manually add them to my feed so that we have content for the next 6 months, but it's not going to be content that looks goofy on there. It's going to be stuff that we purposely make sure has the right message and looks good. I was kind of relying on I can just stick a feed, an RSS feed from this page, and it's just going to post all their stuff. And it does, but a lot of their stuff doesn't look right because they haven't done their part right, and of course I can't control that. So we need to go in and we need to do that manually and just sit down and plan out 6 months worth of stuff and do that. And of course we've picked up some content from others that are things like quotes and stuff like that we can sprinkle in there because we want to mix that message up. But even with the stuff that we're posting, a lot of it is very good stuff. We're still posting those images. We're adding information to those images and making sure that many of them have the links back to the website and have hashtags and things like that. And we've seen a big difference. We've seen the page growth has been really high. I mean, we're talking like 1,000% growth of the Facebook page. Hundreds and hundreds of percent growth in the number of people that are viewing our content, which, it didn't start very high, so 100% higher than one is only, 2. But you get the idea that it's growing, and you can see the numbers that are growing. And then, of course, we're doing Facebook ads. And between Facebook marketing and Facebook ads, we've seen massive amounts of growth, massive amounts of people coming to the website, using the links and coming, clicking through. And we're seeing, big increases in sales because of this. Now, YouTube, of course, is a part of this as well, because we're getting some of them from there too. We can see a lot of clicks coming directly from YouTube to the website. So it's a little bit of both of those. But Facebook is just, it's the one I want to focus on today because we've put a lot more immediate activity into Facebook. I originally set up the YouTube channel, got everything set up, it's running, everything's there. Then I went to work on Facebook, and you have to do a lot more with Facebook because YouTube is going to grow over time. It's going to sit there, all those videos are going to be there, they're going to get more and more views, they're going to keep going and going and going. In Facebook, you have to hit it, and then it's going to drop off, hit it and drop off, hit it and drop off. It's going to be a constant, battle to keep things going there. And that's why we spend a little bit more time in there in order to get the results that we have. But we're talking about more than doubling the dollars coming into this place. And we've only been here, 2 weeks? And in those 2 weeks, we've seen, I think it was 400% increase from last year in those 2 weeks. It's been, this will be the third week, so 3 weeks now. But and from the weeks previous to when we got here, we're up over 200%. So we're literally, 200% more income and more people coming through the door than were coming in even just a few weeks ago before we took it over. And so that's a really exciting thing. And I put a lot of that credit on Facebook and on YouTube. But of course, you got to put the efforts into this. So what did we do with Facebook? Well, we did a lot of things with Facebook. First, we went in there and we made sure that all the information was correct. We fixed the address because we tend to go. We have two suites here. We've got Suite 500 and Suite 600. Some of the stuff says 5, some of it says 6. So I started switching everything to be 500. So I changed Facebook, made sure that the address said 500. Actually, I don't even know if it had a suite number in there at all. So we made sure that that was correct. We added in more information about the business. We started to fill in a lot of the information for the page. We started adding videos into a video section. We started bringing in all the images. Of course, we started labeling the images like I mentioned. All of this has had a big effect in how we're getting more and more and more people to look at the page. And of course, like I said, we went out and we invited everybody to come like the page. Now, liking the page, that's going to get more content in front of them. That's going to hopefully get them to see it, get their friends to see it, and then you start to get more business. But one of the things that we've been doing that, a lot of people may not even know exists in here, and that is when somebody interacts with your post. For instance, when they like your post, okay? Let's say you put out a post and 5 people like your post. When you go and you look at that post, it's going to say, John Smith, Mary Jones, and 4 others liked your post, or 3 others liked your post. If you click on that, you'll see the 5 people that liked your post. And to the right of their name is going to be a button that says invite. Now, if they've already liked your page in the past, that won't be there because they're already a fan of your page. But if they haven't, you can click that invite button next to each and every one of those, and they're going to be invited to like the page. Okay, and that's going to build up your likes, and that has worked really, really well. I do that almost every day at some point in time. I'll go in there and I'll look to see who's liked our stuff. I'll click on it and see if any of them haven't been invited, hit that invite button, and get them to like the page, and that's going to help it to grow. And that's a really, really cool little tool that Facebook has added that, it helps. And the best part is, when you invite people to like your page, you're inviting your friends. When you invite the people that have liked a post in there, you might have no idea who they are. You might not be able to reach them in any other way. And so that's a great way to build your audience with organic people that are looking at your page, liking your content that you may not have access to in any other way than there. So that is a tremendous tool that you got to get in and start using. Just look to see who's liked your page, click on that, invite them to like or who liked your post, click on that, invite them to like your page, and you're going to get good quality likes to that page, and it's going to help it to grow and hopefully get found easier in when people are searching inside of Facebook. Now, the other thing that I said we did is we've added a lot of videos. Videos get a lot of attention, and there's a lot of tools in there to help you with videos. But what we like to do is get in there, upload a video, and it's going to give you that title of the video, the description. You're going to put in your tags just like you would on YouTube, and that's going to bring that video in there, and it's going to help you to get more people looking at your stuff. And videos, of course, tell a message better than probably just about anything out there that you could use. Images are great. To me, video is even better. So get them out there. Get your videos onto that page, and you're going to see a big difference in who likes your page. Now, we, of course, are dealing with a local business. So we've got, people actually come to our location. So we actually have a natural area around here that we want to target. We don't want to target people in Cleveland. Doesn't make any sense. We don't want to target people up in Providence. It doesn't make sense. Down in Miami, doesn't make sense. We need to target people in our area, which is Loganville, Snellville, Lawrenceville, Grayson, Monroe. So these are all little towns that are around us. And here's the funny thing, Loganville, where this actual building is, I think has about, if you look it up, it's like 9,000 people, 10,000 people maybe at most. Snellville, one town over, is a little bit bigger. They've got like 15,000 people. When I go in and I target Loganville, Snellville, Grayson, Lawrenceville, Monroe, I end up with over 3 million people. Because parts of that, because it's usually Loganville plus 25 miles is what we use on that. This one plus 25.
Also, you're north of Atlanta. You're in a densely populated area. I think that needs to be said too.
Well, that's what I'm trying to get. Is where I am is not. I'm in a pretty rural place. So you're shocked that there's 3 million, but it's because it reaches out and touches that Atlanta area. That's exactly why.
Well, yeah.
So you get that.
It's not western Nebraska or Wyoming.
No, it's not. But a town of 10,000 people, that's a pretty small town for most places.
Yeah.
I think 70,000 people still think is a small town. So,
well, but it's not a apples to apples comparison. But look at Orange County, California. I mean, that's a bunch of relatively small towns all jammed together, and you can build a business around that.
Oh, good golly! You're talking, you're talking 3 million in a tiny little area there.
Oh, sure.
Even though it seems like it's spread out, but it's really not. No. Here we're talking about, we're reaching out to 45 minutes away probably in some of the things.
Okay.
And that's why we're pulling that stuff in there. But yeah, most of that 3 million is on that Atlanta side, and then it a lot less densely populated when you get further north and east. But but it's surprising that we can get that many people, and we do get people that come here from places that are 45 minutes away. They come down and play because it's a night out, and that's why we work really hard to try and hit some of those areas that are 30 to 40 minutes away, bring them into town and get them to come in. And today, we started today on a Friday, and what I've discovered looking back on the last couple of weeks and then looking back in history is that Fridays, you would think an escape room Fridays are going to be a huge day, and really they're not. They're not really any different than a Wednesday or Thursday historically. Saturday by far is the biggest day, but this Friday we started off yesterday afternoon. We already had 6 parties booked for today. And so that's pretty good. I mean, it's not, we've done a lot more than that. We did 18 parties a couple weeks ago, wow, which was nuts. And we may get close to that. We'll probably get over 10 parties today, with 4 to 6 people in each party, on average. So it'll be quite a bit of people, but I do attribute a lot of that to the work we're doing on Facebook because people are commenting, people are liking our stuff. They're coming in, they're using codes that we put out there, coupon codes. I also attribute it to things like email marketing, which we've done a little bit of that. We're going to start doing text marketing. Obviously, we got the YouTube channel. We're working on Yelp stuff. We're working on TripAdvisor stuff, and all of that's certainly contributing to it. But it seems like, Facebook is the big driver right now. Facebook and YouTube, and mostly because that's what we've started using for the last couple of weeks. Now we're getting into some of these other things that'll probably, take it even further, but we've seen the massive growth just from doing those things and being active there. So question is, what are we putting out there? Well, we're putting a lot of different things out there. We're putting out content that's fun, that's related. We're putting out actual content from the business. So we're putting out the images of people that played games. We're putting out videos about the games, which really was kind of one of the things that were underutilized here. Is they had some videos. They had a video commercial that they made. Not the greatest commercial in the world, but they had it and they weren't really using it for anything. We had videos for each of the games and they weren't using them except for when you're in the building. Well, it's not like you're giving anything away. We're taking those videos, we're putting them online, we're putting them on Facebook, we're putting them on YouTube because people want to see that stuff. We're putting them on the website. People want to see the videos about what they're coming to play before they show up here, and they weren't really getting a lot of that. And so now they get more information by seeing those videos on YouTube and on Facebook and in ads, because we're putting videos into the ads too. We've done YouTube ads, we've done Facebook video ads. As a matter of fact, funny story with the YouTube ads, I got a call. I've got to call my rep because I went into YouTube ads last night and it said my ad was shut off. And I'm like, oh, why is it shut off? And it said something about malicious content or something like that. And I'm like, what in the world are they talking about? So I got to call them and find out what's happening there. But yeah, that kind of killed the momentum. We were doing really, really good on YouTube with the ads.
Zombies.
Yeah,
Zombies
no,
are
it had
malicious.
nothing to do with zombies even.
Oh.
So I don't know what happened there, but we'll have to call them and find out, because I was like, hey, that's kind of crazy. Why is that shut down? So we'll find out. But we are doing, like I said, we're doing video ads on Facebook. We're doing video ads in Instagram as well, because that's part of the whole Facebook package. But the big thing is you've got to get into Facebook and do this. You got to go out and you got to post these things. Now, I've got multiple ways to post these things out. I've got Bright Social, which Steve, I believe you know a thing or two about. And what I'm doing right now, because Bright Social, what I love about it is it's kind of a set it and forget it sort of deal. And yes, you can go into Bright Social and you can, just add new things in if you want. But a lot of times I even use Hootsuite and just go to Hootsuite and post extra things there a lot of times to just send out. But either one, and that just gets me a lot of content. So the content, again, we're putting game things on there like brain teasers and puzzles. So those are the types of things that we want to put on there because it's related to what they'll be doing. I put a lot of content from YouTube, like other escape room related things, tips, tricks. Even I think I even put the trailers for some of the escape room movies that have come out, threw those in there. So a lot of that kind of stuff, just because we want to vary up that content, give people more of a reason to look at your page other than, hey, look, there's our family, That only lasts a few seconds, but if you then put out content where they're constantly going in there, I want to add a lot more varied content, but up until this point, what I had to do is I just had to get content out there. I just wanted to get things in there. So now that that's running, I want to get in and create better content that I can specifically put out there and maybe find better content online as well. So we want to put a lot of things like asking questions and things, like what's your favorite escape room you've been to, that kind of a thing, just to interact with people and get them to give their answers. What type of locks frustrate you the most in an escape room? I don't know, whatever it happens to be. We're also going to be doing our own video content. So we'll be creating videos of the top locks that you're going to run into in an escape room and how to use them, that kind of a thing. This is a directional lock and here's how it works. You do this. And that way we can put that content on both YouTube and Facebook. But get that Facebook content out there, just helping people to provide information that people like, that people want to see, that will help them, making sure that you got information about the business in there and that you're constantly putting fun content. I'm going to start putting some more things like inspirational content, just because you want to mix that up. You want to really, really mix it up. And I know an escape room is a very specific example of that, but this works for anything. So if you're a chiropractor, you want to be able to put stuff about your business on there, but you want to put, healthy eating tips and healthy, how to keep your back straight tips. I remember the one that we did with one of them was like, how to properly stand up out of a chair, how to properly lift a chair, exercises to strengthen your back. All of these types of things are content that we can put out there that can really help those chiropractors to get with their audience, teach them something that, will help them. And so when they need a chiropractor, they're going to go, well, hey, Dr. Smith was the one who helped me, to learn how to properly stand up out of a chair so I don't hurt my back. So that's a lot of the type of content that you want to put there to make sure that people are seeing this. But you can also then put things like, just inspirational type things. It doesn't matter what business you're in. If you want to go and tell people, hey, have a healthy attitude and you'll do better in life. I mean, that works with anything. Doesn't matter what kind of business you're in. Get that kind of stuff out there. You want to provide people with stuff that gives them a reason to read your materials so that when you put something else out, they're going to get it. Because here's the thing. Let's say in the escape room, if I put out a picture of Steve, if I put a picture of your family doing the escape room out there, people in my town who don't know you, they don't care.
Yeah.
They're not going to, it doesn't mean anything to them. However, if I put an inspirational quote in there and everybody, the people that do see it like it, well, guess what? They're going to see more of my stuff now. So now when I say, hey, come to the room, we got a special going on, they're going to jump right in on it and they're going to see it. So that's the goal, is we want to put the content that will make them like it so that they will see more of the content, so that when we put out content that they really need, they're going to like that. Now, I think I might have mentioned it last week. I'm not sure if I did in here or not, but we've actually run into some interesting situations with other escape room game owners where I talked about some of the social media stuff, and some of those escape room game owners were like, well, yeah, why would you want to put everybody's picture on there? That's just everybody's going to see that and they're going to get annoyed and they're going to unlike your page. And I think there's a big misconception that just because you put a piece of content out there, everybody who's ever liked your page is going to start seeing every piece of content that you put out there. And it's not true. That's why they have a boosted post. They want you to pay money for people to see that. So don't be afraid to put content because you're going to be bothering people. You're not going to be bothering people. If you've got 1,000 people that follow your page, you'll be lucky if 10 of them get it on their feed when you post something.
Well, and that's why I think it's important to listen to a show like this to understand what works and doesn't work, because just because you think something doesn't necessarily mean that is the way things work. So it's just kind of doing a here with Ray on, the importance of getting educated on these kinds of things.
Yeah, and I'll be the first to admit that I'm not the most educated in Facebook. That's not my natural field. My natural field is YouTube and YouTube and videos. But I like the social media stuff. I enjoy doing the social media stuff, even with my own business. I wasn't as big a fan of doing it myself for client businesses. That's why I would always outsource it. But for my own business, it's a business I'm interested in, and that I have interest in. And what I mean by that is, I find the content interesting enough that I enjoy doing it, and I have a financial interest in it doing well. And so for me, that means I'm willing to do that for this one. And I'm willing to do it for clients, but it's better if I hire somebody else out to do that, to make sure that things are followed, but that they do it. But for this one, I don't mind doing it because, I enjoy it, and it's my business, and I really want to make sure that it does well. And,
Sure.
It's a good thing. And social media, by the way, doesn't end at Facebook. We're set up Twitter, we set up Pinterest, we set up Instagram, obviously, which we already mentioned. Plurk, which, by the way, we do. We have set up Plurk. That is actually a true statement. Zigzag. TikTok is one that we're working on right now. I said Zigzag. What's Zigzag? I have no idea. We should start a site called Zigzag.
Yeah, Zigzag Man.
There you go. So all of these things are places you want to put your content, and Pinterest is another one. I don't know if I mentioned that or not, that we do a lot of stuff because it's image-based. We do a lot of images. We take images of people every day. So we want to get that stuff onto Twitter, onto Instagram, onto Pinterest, as well as onto Facebook. And that's what we do. And I used, by the way, just used IFTTT as well as Buffer to get that done.
Yep.
So Buffer takes that stuff. When we upload an image to Facebook now, Buffer takes that and puts it on Instagram, and IFTTT takes it and puts it onto Twitter. And then Buffer also is supposed to put it onto LinkedIn, but it doesn't seem to be doing that, so I've got to figure out why.
IFTT, do they still do LinkedIn? I don't think they do.
I don't know. They don't. That's why that one's through Buffer.
With IFTTT, you can post something somewhere and put it out to just any other place, just about any other place you want. That's the great thing about it.
Just about every other place except the ones you want. IFTTT is a great idea, but like it's almost like all of the good stuff that they had is gone. Very few. Like there's still a lot of Facebook and a lot of YouTube stuff in there, but LinkedIn's gone out of that. So there's a lot of things you just can't do anymore, which is kind of sad. But Buffer will do that. And if you split it between IFTTT, make IFTTT do like Twitter and Facebook, and then you do Instagram through Buffer and LinkedIn through Buffer, you can do that with a free IFTTT account and a free Buffer account. You don't have to pay for anything to do that, because Buffer's only expenses are after you put in 3 social media sites. So once you want to put a 4th social media site, then you got to pay. So if you've got your Instagram and you've got your LinkedIn in there, you just post that stuff out to that.
Yeah.
So there you go. And that's good stuff with that. So again, the big thing is you want to get out there and start doing it. Now, as far as ads go, and that's where we've seen a lot of more direct results where we can kind of follow those results. With the traditional Facebook stuff, it's tougher to follow. Okay, did it actually turn into money? Well, one of the things that we do, and this is something you should think about no matter what business you're in, is we try to find out, how do people find us? In our system, it's actually a question we ask. Hey, how did you find us? Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, whatever. And we can mark it off. In the computer system, it actually, you can check off, found us on Google or whatever. And that's a big help. Now, of course, most of the time people say Google, even if they found it on Facebook, just because they, oh, yeah, I think I found it on Google. And I don't know.
Yeah.
And of course, they might have found it on YouTube and then Googled it and booked it because they went to Google afterwards. So there's a lot of that goes on too. But point being is that if you ask people, you can get a lot of good information about that. Make sure that you track that and you can understand it. And with the Facebook ads, you can actually see the clicks. So okay, this ad was played in front of 1,200 people, 82 people clicked, probably a percentage of them, that's the only part there is, we don't know which ones actually booked. We know 82 of them didn't book. So 82 of them might have clicked. We know 82 of them didn't book it. But certainly a percentage of those people did come in and actually book that. And even if you did that at 10%, you're talking about 8 people or 8 parties at that point in time, because that one person might book it for 5 people. Mm-hmm. And so now you got 5 customers from that one person clicking. And that's where the power really comes in something like this. Now, in a lot of other businesses, that's not the case. Chiropractor, you don't book for your whole family usually. Dentist, maybe sometimes, and I guess a chiropractor occasionally. But for most other businesses, you're going to get a click and you're going to get one customer out of that. And hopefully a lifelong customer who will do a lot of business with you. But in our case, we're lucky in that we get one click, and that could be a party of 10 people.
There you go.
So, but then again, we also don't, sell $3,000 in dental work either. We, we're selling $28 tickets. So,
Donner, party of 7.
Yes. But
all right. Well,
that's the way it goes,
Yeah, this is very interesting. I know with the escape room, you were already very passionate about puzzles and escape rooms and all that kind of stuff and magic tricks. And
indeed.
So that made sense to buy an escape room, but then also
we'll see about that. But
okay, but it made sense to me. But you also get to do the marketing you want to do. You get the stuff that you want to do, and you're passionate about that.
That really is the beauty of it. I wish that escape rooms could make $1 million for you out of the bags, because then I would just do that. But of course, I can't do that. We have to keep doing all the other things that we do and use this as an add-on. And I honestly, I don't expect to make money out of the escape room for probably a year or so. Although the numbers that we've gotten so far certainly make it look like we could actually be taking a little bit of money home sooner than later, which is nice. Because I just kind of expected it to be where we keep it running, it pays for itself, pays for my office, saves me $500 or $600, which is nice. But that we probably wouldn't literally take any money home for quite a while. That it would all go back into the business. But we need to hit certain goals and things like that, and we're already hitting first month we're in, we're already in the positive. So which is a really
that's good.
surprising thing. I thought for sure because you think about this, you start a business. That's going to be the toughest month of your life with that business, really, because you're going to be paying rent up front, and then in fact, you might even be paying a down payment and rent right up front, and then 30 days later paying rent again. So essentially, you'll be paying 3 payments in 1 month for rent. In our case, it's 2. Yeah. In our case, it's only 2, which is nice. We're paying we paid right up front, and then we're paying at the end of the 30 days. So that first month, we've got 2 rent payments we've got to pay. We had to pay, $800 to the electric company for the privilege of allowing them to bill us every month. And we had to pay, $400 to AT&T for the ability for them to charge us money every month. They all want deposits for businesses, which is crazy. So those are all expenses that you won't have on a regular month. Plus, on top of that, you still got to pay the electric bill that you get and the AT&T bill that you get and, all that kind of stuff. So there's a lot of added expenses that go into that. And yet, even with those added expenses in there, we're actually going to break even by the end of the month, which is shocking that we've come that close. I thought for sure we'd be putting a few $1,000s into the business at the end of the first month, not breaking even. So
yeah. Well, that's
and
good.
A lot of it's due to the Facebook work. I'm telling you.
Well, yes, and it's not like you've got a closet for a facility either. I mean, it's a storefront with a lot of offices in it. It ain't cheap.
My office is a closet of a facility.
Your office is a closet, yeah, but your office is a closet within a larger facility.
Yeah.
Storefront.
Oh yeah, no, I mean this is
rooms,
bigger than bigger than most people's homes.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I can believe. Well, you did a tour on Facebook when you first bought it. First day you opened it up.
I did. Yep. First day, I did a little tour.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Now we're going to be building new things, and that's the fun part. We're getting into creating new rooms. We've got one being built over here. We're going to be changing one on the other side, so it's going to be cool stuff. I'm excited for it.
Well, good.
But
good.
At the same time, what's difficult about it, and I have to be careful, is my excitement for all this escape room stuff can't overtake doing all my work for clients and all that. And that's the hard thing, is the balance right now. So I've literally been here from 8 o'clock in the morning till 2 o'clock in the morning a lot of times in these last couple of weeks, which I knew would be the case for the first few weeks because we got a lot of things to do here, but I've still got to do all my email marketing. I got to do my client work. I've got to, and I'm offsetting a lot of that to Justin and others to make sure that it gets done. But it's still a lot of work.
You're talking about Act Now.
Yeah.
Your agency. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I'm learning to become more of a manager in that business.
Now you have
which
to.
I've always kind of been much more hands-on because I liked the work. But I've got to take kind of a step back and let others take those roles.
Sure. Yeah, no, it's understandable. And hey, you've got more stuff going on. You got a lot more stuff going on than when I met you 7 years ago. I mean, you were the affiliate marketing king back then. That was about it. And now, I mean, you're still doing affiliate marketing in addition to everything else. So yeah, you need people.
I need people.
I need people. You got your peeps.
Soylent Green. It's people.
Soylent Green. Yeah. Okay, buddy.
All right. Well, with that, now, Steve, what I have to do after we get off here is I got to go out to my car because it is chock full of stuff from the other office.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Chock full.
You missed a webinar this week because you lost track of time packing your
I did.
car.
Well, it wasn't so much that I lost track of time. I had to get down to the other place and got stuck there forever. And so 1 o'clock came along and I was still stuck there. Hadn't even left yet. It was sad. We'll be back for next week. I'm getting everything out for today. So today is the day I get the last of the things out. And
by the way, Ray does a weekly webinar on all kinds of cool marketing things. If you didn't know about that.
Well, actually that webinar is all about what we talked about today, which is this business, all about the local escape room business. So it's not for people that own escape rooms. It's for people that do marketing for local businesses. So we're literally going through all the things that we're doing to set things up. So we've been through like the YouTube channel, and we've been through Google My Business, and the next one will probably be like we talked about today. We very specifically about Facebook and exactly what we're doing, the ads we're running, and the results. That's the greatest thing about it all, is we get to show actual results. When we do this for some plumber, we're not going to see his numbers. We're not going to be able to show you, hey, look, he did $2,000 last week and $3,000 this week. He's up, 33%. We don't get to do that. In this one, I can do that. I can open up the books and show you, look, this is what we did make, this is what we are making, and clearly it's from this ad or what have you. So we can do that kind of stuff. So
very cool.
Indeed.
Alrighty.
Indeed.
Alrighty.
So
hey, where's that funky music?
well, that funky music is over here, and it's brought to you by our good friends at Adobe. They make things possible here each and every week. Well, each and every week that they're the person who made it possible anyway.
Yeah.
And this week, it is our good friends at Adobe. They are the creators of Photoshop. They are the creators of After Effects. They are the creators of Premiere and Illustrator and Dreamweaver and all those other softwares that everybody uses to get creative. And that's why they call it the Creative Suite. And unlike in years past where you had to go pay $700 for After Effects and $500 for Photoshop and, $500 for Illustrator and pay all this money, and in a couple of years when the new one came out, you had to pay another $200 to $400 to upgrade it. Oh, no. Now you get to pay a small monthly fee and have the updated versions all the time, nonstop. Every time there's a new version, you get it. You get, not only do you get the ones we talked about, like Photoshop and After Effects and Illustrator and Premiere, you also get mobile versions of certain things, like the mobile version of Adobe Premiere, so you can edit right on your mobile device. How cool is that? Media Encoder, which we use to take our big, gigantic videos and shrink them down to something we can put on the web. Acrobat for making really advanced PDFs. All of that is done inside of the Adobe Suite. You can download any software that you want, or only the ones you want, so you don't take up all that precious space on your computers. That's with the Adobe Suite. You can check it out right now. Get the low monthly price by heading on over to raiselinks.com/AdobeCS. And with that,
right,
we're going to hit that funky music, and then I'm going to go clean out my car. So here we go.
He's Ray the video guy, yeah, Ray the video guy. His skill is where it's at, even if he's a little fat. He's filled with video expertise and has so much knowledge that you need. His YouTube ninja tricks can make your marketing so sick. He's Ray the video guy, yeah, Ray the video guy.